Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Friday Night SmackDown, episode 1050, which was the debut on Fox. So lots of stuff to talk about. I'm just going to go through it really quick, but the first thing at the top of my mind, forefront of my thoughts, is that 205 Live is no more. And I really felt like that didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but I was fully expecting there to be 205 Live after the show tonight, because the last advertisement, the last I had heard from an official source, was that there would be a new episode of 205 Live following SmackDown, and there wasn't. And so I jumped on to Twitter, searched everywhere, and all the tweets that I saw were people like matter-of-factly telling each other, "Oh yeah, man, it's been canceled," and all that kind of stuff. I have yet to find an official tweet about it at all. Obviously, it didn't happen, so it is an official thing that it didn't happen, at least this week, but there's no word on anything other than what you can kind of assume from what's taken place so far on NXT, which is that the title match was announced for next week between Drew Gulak and Lio Rush, and that the championship has been renamed the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. So it all makes sense, but them advertising that there's going to be an episode of 205 Live tonight, and then there not being one, personally, I'm really disappointed by that, because that's always my favorite part about going to SmackDown, or it has been. It will be no more. And yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. It's put a sour taste in my mouth about the night, basically. And it kind of makes me forget about any other stuff that I might be upset about, but I was excited for all the stuff that happened otherwise. Yeah, I had a really great time. Just to recap, since the last episode, I went and visited my cousin Tom, and his wife Mary, and my Aunt Sheila and Uncle Dave. And it was really great seeing them and spending time with them. We played a bunch of games. What is it? Mint Work, or something like that. That game was really cool. I want to pick up a copy of that. I had a lot of fun playing that. I got lucky. I think I won a couple of times, but then not so much. And then today we played Monopoly Deal, which I had played before, but it's been a while, so I had to get a refresher on it. And I won the first round, but then lost every other round after that. Actually, while we were playing the second round, we heard something like clank in the kitchen, and then water flowing. We're like, what the heck was that? And Tom goes and checks it out. There's no water inside of the fridge, and Mary goes, checks it out, and is like, oh no, the back of the fridge is pouring out water. So Tom went and turned off the water and all of that. It was a whole thing. I contributed very little. I think I didn't do anything to help at all, except for hold the flashlight, the light on my phone, so that they could see under the sink to turn off the water going to the fridge. But yeah, that was a real ordeal. But they took care of it. And then I also relayed from outdoors to indoors when the water was back on to like double check that it wasn't contributing more to the leakage, and that we had turned off the right thing, so that the rest of the house still had water. So yeah, it was interesting. But Mary had to go to work. So then it was just me and Tom playing Monopoly Deal until I had to head out to get here to the arena. And I got here in just the right time. I sat down and got some food before going to my seats. It was still inside the arena, and I'd forgotten that I got a pretty good seat in the premier level, so it's not as hectic as the main concourse as far as like getting food and stuff. So that was nice. So yeah, because I had got the tickets for like this whole week, and I don't remember where any of the tickets are. I have to like look at them, and it's gotten to the point where I'm kind of like, well, I'll just find out when I get there, and that like tonight. But yeah, it was really great seeing them, and I might go back over there at some point. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go back. I don't know. I'll see what they're doing. Because I really like spending time with them. I like spending time with them whenever I do. So okay, so the show itself, I got here. The new set is awesome. I forgot to talk about Raw's new set. I don't think I talked about it in the episode after it either. But they have like an infinity curve backdrop LCD screen thing, and I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. But then over on SmackDown, they have it's very different. They have like a tunnel type of structure thing, and all flat screens, so they do look very different. And of course, the difference, they still have that difference with the SmackDown commentary being down on the floor. From what it looked like, it was only Cole and Corey on commentary, and that then they had like Daniel Bryan was on commentary, it looked like, during the lumberjack match. But yeah, I'm interested to see how all of that goes. And yeah, and it makes apparently Tom Phillips may be in at NXT UK right now, and maybe he's helping run the show over there, because obviously it'd be impossible for Triple H to be there and here over in the UK when they do those tapings on the weekend. So I don't know. Maybe Triple H is over there as well. Because I think normally Michael Cole is out there for those. Maybe not. I might be mistaken. I'm completely making things up completely. So before the show, we had a dark match, Ali versus Buddy Murphy, and Ali won that match, and it was awesome, of course. Then we had Becky come out to open the show. She was interrupted by King Corbin, and then he was interrupted by The Rock, and all of that was lots and lots of fun. I enjoyed it. Then we had Becky and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha. Charlotte won the match by tapping out Bayley with the figure 8. Then we had Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That match did not have a conclusion, or it did not go to a decision, because the Fiend attacked Seth during it and like threw him off of the stage after choking him with the mandible claw. Then we had Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon ladder match. The loser is fired from WWE. Lots of awesome stuff in this match. I really enjoyed the entire thing. And yeah, I can't remember any specific moment that I liked a whole lot more than others, but the whole thing I really enjoyed. There's lots of great ladder stuff, and I don't know, I was really into it. Kevin, especially because Kevin won, and he tells Shane that he's fired. So that's exciting. A new era for SmackDown has officially begun with the ousting of Shane McMahon. Shane no more. Then we had a big tag team match. Braun, Heavy Machinery, and The Miz versus AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and the team of Rudolph, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. We didn't get any glorious music during those entrances. I don't know if those entrances were on television, but AJ Styles had pyro in his entrance. I really hope that's on TV, but if not, that's even cooler that he got pyro despite not being on TV. So yeah, awesome. That continues moving forward, because AJ Styles has one of the entrances that it was made for, that impact, the concussion sound, that, all that. So I was really happy about that. Braun won the match, and then it was a Tyson Fury, heavyweight boxer guy, was in the front row. Braun kind of started some stuff with him after he did the whole run around knocking over everybody outside of the ring. So we'll see if that leads to something. Maybe I don't know if was anything else determined for. Nothing else is set up for Hell in a Cell. I think there's still only 3 official matches for Hell in a Cell, which is weird. I don't know what's going on with all of that, but It's in 2 days. I guess we'll find out during the show what all the matches are, unless the whole show is only 3 matches. Weird. But and then our main event, no, not our main event. Up next, we had Rowan versus Roman in a lumberjack match. Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns, a lumberjack match. Roman wins after Harper gets involved. All the lumberjacks are, showing their colors, who they're aligned with. But Daniel Bryan gets involved and helps counteract the Luke Harper interference there. And I guess it didn't end in a disqualification when Harper was attacking Roman in the ring, but we ended up getting a victory for Roman Reigns. And then up next, we had Brock Lesnar challenge Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship, and Brock Lesnar hit a single F5 and won the championship. And then 205 Live was no, not 2. Oh my god, I have 205 Live on my brain. 619 Live. Rey Mysterio's music hit, and he comes out with Cain Velasquez, and I'm not familiar with him. I didn't know him. Didn't know him from seeing him. I had to look it up, and he's a UFC fighter, and I guess is a big deal. So he came out and took down Brock and was beating him up, and then Brock pretty much ran away. He's going back to face him, but ultimately ran away. I see a couple people. It seems like they're arguing. I don't know. I don't know what their dynamic is, if they're newly acquainted or not. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And then there was no 205 Live after that. And so I'm really sad right now, but I am excited to see them in action every week on NXT. I mean, that ends up making it the same amount of TV that I am used to watching. So NXT maybe 2 hours now, but 205 Live has been merged into it, it seems. And so it's the same amount that I would normally watch. So that is everything. I'm pretty happy with the show itself. Very sad with the absence of 205 Live, but I did get to see Ali versus Murphy, so that's nice. And I wore my Brock Lesnar shirt, so I was asking for all that to happen, wasn't I? So I can't be upset about that. I'm not upset about that. I thought it was it was a little bit ridiculous, and I kind of enjoy the ridiculous things when they happen. So that's it. I give it a B+, but minus 50 points. Cut that in half, so it's an F for getting rid of 205 Live. So, but otherwise everything else is really great, except for Kofi just being murdered. It would have been so great to see a killer match between those two, but it was a killer match, just a different definition of that. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this episode of SmackDown by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye!